a few past her club's oldest rivals tonight. For Ajax, it's a brand new opponent, but a very familiar setting. Last season's Eredivisie runners-up have taken the scenic route to set up a dream tie with Arsenal. Their road to this season's Champions League final in Eindhoven started with a 3-1 win over Swedish side Christiansen's, before they knocked out four-time European champions Frankfurt in the most dramatic of circumstances. Tonight, they have their sights set on another giant killing. It's all set up for a thriller at Meadow Park. Two incredibly experienced players on the world stage, Kim Little and Sherida Spitzer, leading their respective sides out tonight. It's a big day there for Lena Hurtig, centre of your screen, making her very first Arsenal start since her summer move from Juventus. Of course, this competition isn't a change of scenery for her. We'll just look at the Arsenal team now. Jonas Alderweireld made 3 changes from Friday's 4-0 win over Brighton. Noelle Maritz and Steph Catley come in at full-back, while there's a full Arsenal debut, as mentioned, for Lena Hurtig on the wing. Raffaelli makes her first Champions League appearance in defence. And for Ajax, well, it's 2 changes from their opening day rout against Fortuna Sittard. Lisa van der Most comes in at right-back, while Nadine Nordam pairs the experienced Sherida Spitzer in midfield. Reme Lukter scored 25 in 24 last season. Wearing the number 7 shirt tonight, she is the one to watch. Plenty of experience on display, and as expected with Ajax, always a lot of talented youth product coming through.
Absolutely, and again, that's something I'm really looking forward to watching and see as the 90 minutes unfold as well, how this experienced Arsenal team combat themselves against a visiting side full of young, talented, hungry players who will come to this game with an edge of fearlessness as well. So Arsenal have to be prepared for that. I'm sure they will be, and looking to build upon the clean sheet that they gained in the opening game of the season at Brighton as well.
Despite keeping that clean sheet, it's 2 changes to what looked to be a settled back line. Laura Weinerotter being replaced at right back by Noelle Maritz, who is the sole Champions League winner in this Arsenal side. Well, Viviana Miedema gets us off and underway at Meadow Park. The road to Eindhoven begins for the Gunners tonight. Here's Raffaelli. Now Zinsberger. Did wonder whether we may have seen a debut for summer signing Kayla Marchese in goal. It looks as though Jonas Alderweireld is desperate to put his strongest side out, just to make sure that that trip back to Amsterdam isn't going to be too tricky for his side.
Yeah, it's a really important point as well, trying to build that consistency and that solid foundation from the back with a goalkeeper who will be in good form and in confident form as well.
Blackstenius getting the ball across. It's cut out by Spitzer. Just able to drag this one across the field to Lisa van der Most. This is what we can expect to see from Ajax. All 4 of their goals on the weekend came down the right-hand side. Plenty of threat down that channel. All of the goals being turned in from crosses as well. But this is better from Arsenal. Foot back on the ball. It's Noelle Maritz who's invited to drive forward. Nice interplay from Blackstenius as well. Of course, opening her account on the opening day. Beth Mead with 2 of herself. Up against Brighton. Arsenal just settling themselves into this game. I know that Ajax can be dangerous on the counter-attack. Steph Catley going in for challenges and just about losing out on that far side. Interesting to see her brought into the side, Steph Catley. Very solid defensively, but as an alternative to Katie McCabe. Very similar players, very accomplished with their deliveries as well, that left foot.
Yeah, I mean, she was rewarded, wasn't she, with a new contract in the summer, a player that the manager rates, and in 1v1 battles, so consistently good. So it does have a really defensive, strong edge to this team that she can contribute as well on a night where, as you've mentioned, down that side of the pitch is where Ajax really has a threat.
That's the first glimpse of a jet-heeled Lena Hurtig. Certainly no slouch on that left wing. Just had her cross cut out at the near post. It's always interesting, especially at this early stage of the season, to see the new players coming in and form those on-pitch relationships with their teammates and try to suss out exactly where the movement's going to be before obviously they build that telepathic understanding. The early signs there were good between Catley and Hurtig. That's a nice bit of play by Raffaelli.
I think already we're seeing how confident and composed Arsenal look in possession. Ajax, with the few touches they've had on the ball, have looked to play it direct and fast and quick, but Arsenal just bringing the ball through the channels, and like you say, that instinctive, almost telepathic understanding that they have in the final third. It looks like it's infiltrating its way from defence through to midfield as well, so early encouraging signs for Arsenal.
They do obviously have the option to go a bit longer, a bit more direct, with a passer like Leah Williamson at the back. That's exactly what Ajax do from their goalkeeper Lisa Kopp. Given away though, only temporarily. Pullover and then Nordam, eventually working it over to that right hand side. Van der Most, nice turn under pressure from Nordam. Now Pullover. First glimpse on this left-hand side of the summer arrival Weirden. Joining from Montpellier. Ooh, she might look to profit here under a bit of pressure on the edge of the area, but still managing to get the shot away. Zinsberger couldn't hold it. Thankfully, enough defenders were in the way to sweep that one out for a throw-in. Early warning signs, though, for the Gunners.
Yeah, certainly so. You can see there's just a little bit of hesitancy on the edge of the 18-yard box, and you can't afford to do that at any level, let alone in a Champions League tie either. And Ajax just showing that they're ready to pounce, and as soon as they get a glance on target, look up and get the shot away.
Victoria Pullover it was with the effort. One of the more impressive players among the Ajax ranks from last season. 6 goals, 9 assists from midfield, and here she is again now looking to make things tick for the Eredivisie side. Cardinal into Spitzer. Wearing the captain's armband for Ajax, as she did for Netherlands when they lifted the Women's Euros back in 2017. Vivianne Miedema, of course, a big part of that squad, along with former Arsenal players, Sari van Veenendaal, Danielle van der Donk, Dominic Janssen as well in there. Catley. Be interesting to watch Blackstenius as well play on the last defender. She did that role so well up against Brighton at the weekend. Just as Raffaelli's done there. Judging the pass brilliantly, getting her body in the way. That might have been a foul on Beth Mead. Referee today, Frida Nielsen, who's from Denmark, is happy to wave that one on. And there's Pullover going for the cross, blocked out by Catley. Spitzer, really lively start in the opening 6 or so minutes here at Meadow Park.
I'm already really liking the look of Pullover. I wonder how many Women's Super League managers might be keeping an eye on her this evening. I think her contract comes to an end at the club, and you do wonder whether the allure of the FA Women's Super League could be something that she considers at the end of the season. But you can already see the direct nature in which she plays and the creativity as well. It'd be a really interesting matchup.
Well, the 22-year-old isn't just talented on the football pitch. She's very intelligent person as well. Outside of football, she's studied applied mathematics She also played at the Dutch Youth Chess Camp as well, so expect to see her looking to make the most of the spaces that are popping up on the pitch. I do wonder whether the checkerboard design on the pitch might favour her. Anyway, we'll move on from that. Here come Ajax now, attacking with Romy Lukter. Van der Most with the throw-in. Another good turn by Pelova. Kim Little going in for the challenge. Miedema escapes with the ball. Liavelti trying to twist and turn away from Sharida Spitzer. Look at the pressing from Ajax. It's really good work rate off the ball from the visitors. And they've won themselves a throw-in as well with their dedication.
Yeah, an incredibly impressive display so far from Ajax in that press out of possession as well. They're looking really, really strong and just needing the Arsenal midfield to show that physicality. Kim Little with an important challenge there, but Liavelti just getting turned too easily, and it's proving to be a very effective means for the visitors to infiltrate and put some pressure early on the Arsenal defence.
Cut out by Little. Now, will this be their chance to break forward? Blackstenius has stayed wide to the right. Miedema's up ahead on the left. Beth Mead runs into trouble. And it's helped clear. You can immediately see Ajax's first thought is, as soon as the turnover's made, let's get ourselves back onto the front foot. They want to attack Arsenal when they are at their most unsettled. Clear game plan by their head coach, Suzanne Bakker. Newly in charge for this season, replacing former coach Danny Schenkel after he won the Dutch Cup last time out. It'll be a free kick to Arsenal. Steph Catley this time, brought down by Chastity Grant. So 10 minutes into the game, Charlotte. What can we draw from this so far?
I think we can draw what we probably suspected before a ball was even kicked, that it's going to be a very even affair between these two teams. Arsenal started the game very, very brightly, and Ajax have just kind of crept into it, dictated the tempo more perhaps in the last couple of minutes, but certainly not only do I think we're going to enjoy a really good tactical display this evening, it's going to be physical as well. There are some crunching tackles going on already, and that physical battle in midfield I think is going to grow ever more important as the game wears on as well.
Yeah, first it was Steph Catley putting a boot in, and then Sharida Spitzer came across with a huge challenge. Winning the ball fairly low on both occasions. Hurtig trying to force Nadine Nordam back towards her own goal. Raffaelli. Williamson invited to step out from defence, and that was a nice looking ball. Threaded through into the gap with her weaker left foot. Just a bit too far ahead of Miedema. Good to see Arsenal switching up the attacks though. Here's Maritz on this right hand side. Bit loose by Blackstenius, but recovered by Velti. Opportunity perhaps for Maritz to deliver. It's a routine claim in the end for Lisa Kopp.
Yeah, keeper's done well there, going about her business, making it look routine, making it look easy, but stamping that authority when you're the visiting goalkeeper as well is incredibly important, and knowing that you have a keeper that can come off her line, claim the ball and get the game back underway quickly is also going to be really important, because for Ajax it's about setting their own tempo, and as we've seen, they do like a direct long ball as well as playing through the thirds, which, as we see now, that long ball forward. But I think that's going to work to Arsenal's advantage when you have, you know, a centre-back pairing and players like Leah Williamson, who just, she looks so composed. I don't think there's a footballer who looks more composed than Leah Williamson. So relaxed, and it's brilliant to see, and hopefully, you know, she'll carry on what was a fantastic summer for Arsenal as well.
There was a lot of confusion, wasn't there, when Serena Weigmann announced the first lineup at the Euros. Leah Williamson wasn't being played in holding midfield. Well, I'm sure Arsenal fans would have told you the way that she played at centre-back last season, by far and away, probably the best one in the WSL.
Yeah, I remember, Max, watching Leah Williamson many, many years ago when she was playing for the under-17s for England. And I said to a colleague at the time, I'm watching a future England captain here, because just her all-round capacity and ability to read the game. You know, you watch her with the ball, without the ball, she's constantly searching, constantly looking over her shoulder, and just such an intelligent footballer. And you could kind of see then, I didn't know she'd be the captain to lead us to some silverware, but certainly knew that she was going to go on to be a fantastic, well-rounded footballer. And that leadership that she brings, without even wearing the captain's armband for Arsenal, is such a benefit to them.
Not many teams can say that both of their starting centre-backs captained their countries to international glory in a single summer. That's exactly what the two Arsenal defenders were up to when they were away from their clubs. Raffaele, of course, winning the Copa America with Brazil. Didn't concede a single goal en route to lifting that trophy. Anyway, here's Blackstenius trying to get the cross in. The ball had gone out and behind for a goal kick. I think tonight's referee, Frida Nilsson, been happy to just wave that one on. Better hold-up play by Blackstenius, but yeah, just running a bit too far away from her. One back by Niavelti. Crucial toe to take that one away from Nordam. There she is again, the Swiss international, helping things on to her compatriot on this near side. Now Mead. Maritz continued her run. Mead's picked her out brilliantly. Towards the far post, Hurtig will arrive. Van der Most happy to help that one on. Does get the benefit of the doubt. That's gone behind for a goal kick, but more promising play on this right-hand side by Arsenal. I was just about to say, Max, that right-hand side looks really, really fruitful for Arsenal, and perhaps something they can exploit even more. Just getting the quality of those deliveries into the box, just asking a few more questions, perhaps aerially as well. Arsenal have such an aerial threat with their front line, the height and the physical ability they have. Just making sure those deliveries perhaps go up a notch as well. But you certainly look at the opening 15 minutes, and that right-hand side does look like perhaps the avenue where Arsenal could get a little bit of joy and perhaps break the deadlock. They are coming up against very inexperienced Ajax back line. The two centre-backs, one of them's 20, the other is 17, Issa Cardinal. Both academy products, both very highly rated at the club. As Spitzer tries her luck. Right at Zinsberger in the end. You alluded to it earlier, Charlotte. As soon as they see the goal, their eyes light up. And that's exactly what you would expect from a visiting team, given the context of this game as well. The first tie of a two-legged affair for the visitors. It's all about trying to stamp some authority, trying to quieten down the fans at Meadow Park, and whenever they do get a glimpse on goal, if they're even granted a little bit of space, they're trying to get that shot away, rack up those shots on target, and it's down to Arsenal to smother that. And I would say they've had a few half chances, the visitors, and the ones that they have come from perhaps Arsenal mistakes, a bit loose in possession, particularly in that middle of the park. So something for Arsenal perhaps to tidy up on. Viviana Miedemar just trying to get herself involved in the game, turning before seeing her cross well cleared. Maritz will take the throw in. We'll get on the receiving end of that ball from Beth Mead as well. A real opportunity now for Arsenal to try to flood Ajax's box. It's given away by Niavelti. Uncharacteristically, usually so assured in possession. Just caught in two minds there. Yeah, I'm just looking at Arsenal, looking a little bit uncoordinated in the press and the boxing in of that throw-in as well, and now they're kind of open up to a counter-attack. Yeah, they are. There's an option here, an overload on the right-hand side. Van der Most continued her run forward. Leukter picked her out, and now it's back with Nordam. There's an overlapping run from Grant as well into the area. And Ajax take the lead. Well, we knew exactly how dangerous they were coming across from that right-hand side. All four goals in their previous fixture came from a cross similar to that one. And they've undone Arsenal here. Some would say it's against the run of play, but they have the better of the chances in this game. It's Arsenal 0, Ajax 1.
And it all started, Max, from that throw-in down the other end. From an Arsenal point of view, many opportunities to prevent that goal from happening. I know to see the Liam Williamson holding her arm up, expecting an offside call, but I don't think it was offside. The back line was caught a little bit out of shape, all at odds, and they've been ruthlessly punished. A lovely little neat ball there. The run was fantastic. The cross arguably should have been dealt with, but good movement from Ajax's number 7, and it is an advantage that they've worked hard for and capitalised Arsenal in the perhaps a slight lackadaisical defending.
Yeah, Romeo Leukter, the player who we did identify as the clear threat in that forward line, gets on the score sheet. Really, really impressive start for Ajax. Clinical they were when they came forward. And Leukter, a player who scored so many goals last season, nets her first in the competition. What have Arsenal got in response? Raffaelli. Miedemar and Hurtig both made the forward runs. Here is Hurtig now. Little. Mead closed down so quickly by Soraya Bahova on this near side. A bit of space now though. Again, when it's come to it, that final delivery from Arsenal, the final one just to try to pick the lock, hasn't been coming off in this opening 20 minutes. They might have an opportunity here though. Blackstenius. Spitzer goes a bit more direct this time. She's got Grant chasing up against Leah Williamson. Raffaelli does really well to firstly hold off Leukter before showcasing her close control as well.
With Arsenal, you just can't help but feel it's perhaps that little bit of accuracy threading through the passes, and the movement and the ideas are right. It's not quite clicking so flawlessly as perhaps it did against Brighton, but it is just that accuracy of the passing and also the decision making as well, because Ajax have set up so well. They've got a real block behind the ball when they're out of possession, and sometimes it's that decision making, electing for that pass. There's a sea of bodies where, as we're seeing, when they're opening up play and switching between the right and the left, it seems to be more effective against this Ajax team.
You can already see, as Charlotte mentions, the 2 banks of 4 right in front of the Ajax penalty area. Making things difficult for the Gunners, but they will get a free kick now, Arsenal. Now, is this in Steph Catley territory? We saw her last season score a stunning free kick against HB Cogger. Can she do the same again here? I'm sure she won't be the only player putting her name forward for this one. Beth Mead's gone over as well. A clear foul though from Ajax. No real complaints for the challenge on Lena Hurtig. This could be a crucial moment in this Champions League tie.
I think it's a great opportunity in open play. It hasn't quite clicked for Arsenal so far this evening. This is a fantastic set-piece opportunity, and we know the technical ability both the players standing over the ball have.
So the left foot of Steph Catley, or Beth Mead. Well, there's a chance on the follow-up, and how's that not got in? Leah Williamson was one of the players up there. I don't think it was her that got the final touch though. Just taking a look, it was Beth Mead with lots of venom behind the strike.
Yeah, that was an absolutely fantastic strike. And just to get the goalkeeper working, she spilled it. We did discuss whether there would be a little bit of nervousness perhaps, and just backpedaling there, the weighted position that she was in, just missing the target. But that is a good moment for Arsenal, and it's something to build upon. And perhaps they too now will be looking to try and get a few shots away and test Zop in the Ajax goal.
Yeah, Stina Blackstenius, probably as close as you can come to levelling the scores without actually hitting the target from close range. She was off balance, the Swede, when she went in to follow it up. There's Raffaelli, one over the top. Here's Blackstenius. This is the thing. Even after she misses a chance, she still makes the moves. She wins her side a corner.
She's so tenacious, isn't she? Those runs off the ball, her movement constantly is such a threat that whoever's got the task of marking her for an evening has a tough evening. And that's exactly what Arsenal need to be doing. They need to let Ajax know that they are in for a tough afternoon, a tough evening, I should say, and a tough tie. And it's another set-piece opportunity, which Arsenal do look very dangerous from.
Well, again, it will be drilled in by Beth Mead towards the far post. Raffaelli's up there, off the crossbar, and a chance on the follow-up. Smashed home this time by Stina Blackstenius. Well, we saw it against Brighton. If she misses one chance, if she hits the frame of the goal, it doesn't matter. She'll keep going and she will get her reward. And she's levelled the scores here. It's Arsenal 1, Ajax 1.
Credit to Arsenal, I think the response since going a goal behind, there has been far much more purpose to their attacking display, more intent, and the way they've been moving the ball around, and those set-piece deliveries have been of great quality. The ball in and the header initially was fantastic, but being alert and sharp to the seconds is what a centre-forward like that is there for. Taking the gamble, sensing the danger, and ultimately putting the ball into the back of the net.
Almost every single set-piece delivery in that opening day win over Brighton was aiming for Raffaelli. She wasn't too far away from marking her Champions League debut with her first Champions League goal. Here's Miedema giving Cardinal something to think about. But the teenagers done well just to shepherd that one out of play. Arsenal, though, with all the momentum following Stenius' second goal in as many games this season. Given away by Miedema. Now here's Ashley Reardon. Well, one back by Beth Mead, who tracked her runner a long way. Now Kim Little can bring it forward. Cardinal gives it away to her opposing centre-back. Now a bit of space may open up on the left-hand side. Niavelti continued her run forward, trying again to wriggle away from the Ajax press. Seem to get so many bodies in around and really quickly as well, don't they?
Yeah, this game is being played at quite a tempo, but also just the level of the physicality. The referee is letting a lot of kind of little nibbles go, and that's fantastic because it makes it even more of a spectacle and a battle to watch unfold.
Well, I was wondering where that block may end up there. From our vantage point, it looks as though for a second it might have been headed on target, but it has gone out and behind safely from an Ajax point of view for a goal kick. But like you said, there is hardly a second for any of these players to catch their breath. Being played end to end, you've got both teams playing very high pressing style.
It really adds that pressure as well for individual errors. You know, there's someone ready to capitalise, and both sets of players have made individual errors that have been capitalised on. Even the likes of Miedema, in her goddess-like status, anytime she's on the ball, she is a magnet for about 3 or 4 Ajax players, and that's putting the pressure on her passing, which led to Ajax's last attacking move. It's if we want to go back to that chessboard analogy, you really can't put a piece out of place, because with the quality of these players, you're going to be punished.
He's done me a solid there, actually. My very laboured analogy earlier on. Anyway, here are Ajax coming forward on the right-hand side with Grant. Well, one back by Raffaelli, but the danger's still not cleared. Very nearly tapped in at the far post by Ashley Reardon. Leah Williamson, you can see her just off to the right of your screen there, having a word with her fellow defenders, just trying to calm things down a bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's a brilliant cross. The fizz on it, really, really hard to defend against. And that run at the back post by Reardon, who again is another player that's really caught my eye, the way she fizzes around the pitch, got a lot of pace on her, and you just cannot afford to do that. And I think it was another kind of warning sign.
All given away, and it might be another opportunity for Leuchter. Well, a finisher of her pedigree. I'd be expecting her to make Zinsberger work a bit more, but again, comes from bit of slack play from Arsenal.
Yeah, I think if Leah Williamson was telling her teammates to calm down 60 seconds ago, she is reaffirming that message. We've mentioned it, the tempo of the press and the way that both teams are set up. It is breathless and it is hard, and you've got to be at full concentration, and the accuracy of passing is something that Arsenal have been lacking in this evening, which is very, very uncharacteristic.
Grant on this occasion looking to profit. Miedemar's back there to atone for her earlier error. And now Marix can look up to find Blackstenius, who I think probably wanted a shout there to hold on to the ball rather than flick it on first time. Back in Ajax's possession now. Cardinal, really impressed with her distribution in the first part of this game. Only signed her first professional contract over the summer. This is very much her breakthrough campaign. It's good to see such a strong turnout on a Tuesday night in Boreham Wood. It was a sellout for the WSL opener on Friday night, and 45,000 fans are expected to be in attendance at Emirates Stadium for the first North London derby of the season. And it will break a WSL attendance record as well.
What a fantastic occasion to look forward to. It's amazing to see the impact of what's been building in the FA Women's Super League for such a long time, and arguably sometimes over the years it's been hard to follow the women's games with the fixture schedules, the timings and so on, and to have a Champions League tie on a Tuesday evening and still get a decent crowd ahead of what is going to be a massive North London derby, it's brilliant. And I think again for Arsenal it is important about the level of professionalism that goes into today's tie, not to be too distracted by that, and I'm sure they're not, but to pick up a good result this evening and equally a good performance, a nice tidy performance, will be really, really important. I think you'll know about that kind of touch on when there's 45,000 people there. But I think that is, again, perhaps something that Arsenal can look to improve upon, and perhaps what this man will be saying to them at the half-time break. There's been some really promising signs, but also perhaps in certain areas Arsenal can and know they can do slightly better.
Yeah, he's got very high standards, Jonas Eideveld, into his second season, of course, in charge. Wanted his team to improve when facing man-marking systems. Also wanted them to improve mentally and not be too down when they concede against the run of play, or if there is any what they deem to be poor officiating. Well, we saw how well they responded to adversity about 10 minutes ago. Only took them 4 minutes for Blackstenius to net an equaliser after going a goal behind. You will want to see a bit more from his side in terms of completing their usual number of passes, forcing Liza Kopp especially into making a few saves as well. Ajax have played well. Should point that out as well. It hasn't just been Arsenal not entirely clicking.
No, I think you definitely do have to credit the visitors, the way they grew into the game after perhaps a slightly slower start. You know, Arsenal started the game the brighter for sure, and Ajax have grown into the game. They brought the physical edge, but also as well they've identified some weak spots, and they've gone about executing and putting them into place and putting Arsenal under pressure defensively.
More good pressing by Arsenal as Ajax look to play their way out of trouble. I'm sure they'll try again now. Well, here's Kim Little. Need with no option but to go back to Williamson. It's a rare touch for Zinsberger as well. Half an hour gone here. 1 goal apiece. And Raffaelli on the march. Now Catley, a dangerous ball into the middle. Oh, they need to deal with this, and they haven't. Well, they have now. Miedemar was sniffing, as was Blackstenius. Ajax just couldn't seem to get the ball under control inside their own area, and then managed to escape with possession.
This is much, much better from Arsenal. That front three, leading the defending, leading the press, and just to keep applying that pressure on Ajax. You can just see with Arsenal, when it is that kind of instinctive passing play, teams can't get a chance. They're chasing shadows, and that's something we want to see more of from the home team between now and the half-time break.
Certainly saw plenty of it last season. Thinking back to the opening day of last campaign against Chelsea at the Emirates, that 3-2 win. There was lots of fast attacking stuff on display there. And they went on that 9-game winning streak in all competitions. Saw bits and pieces of that form returning against Brighton. Ajax have contained them quite well and have profited quite well from picking up loose balls like that. Spitzer. Now Dawn. Now it's the Dutch side's turn to dictate the tempo. As Cardinal moves into midfield, swapping over with Spitzer on the ball now.
Feels like a slight change of tack from Arsenal rather than that aggressive initial press, just dropping off a little bit, inviting Ajax to break them down, and it seems to be working quite effectively.
There were a couple of occasions early on, certainly, where Arsenal got sucked in. Eliza Kopp was able to play as the extra outfield player, outnumber Arsenal, and then spring a counter-attack forward. Managed to work their way up the field again, though. Van der Most helping it on to Grant. Grant once more, dropping a shoulder, trying to get away from Catley. Nordam. Palova, who's been relatively quiet compared to what she was like when she started the game. Threading the ball through. It was Isa Cardinal, the furthest player forward, the centre-back. It's out of play for Zinsberger's goal kick. Miedema back for Catley. See Arsenal just trying to up things in terms of the one-touch passing, that tempo. Whereas Ajax will happily slow things down. Cardinal goes long. Nobody's home other than Raffaelli. Now Velti. Clear cries from the Arsenal bench, just telling their players to just keep hold of the ball. That's what they are doing with this move. It's much better from the home side. They have been slightly guilty of trying to force a few things in this first half, but they're patiently probing away now. Until Velti gave the ball away. Palova helped on by Spitzer. One back by Williamson, and now Maritz. Beth Mead wins the free kick.
They've done a good job keeping Beth Mead relatively quiet by her very, very high standards this evening so far, and just can't help but feel if they can get her on the ball a little bit more, maybe even pick up a few fouls, pick up a few set pieces and be able to attack that box more prominently. But I think you're right, the patience is a key, and we've just seen in some of the decision making this evening, it's kind of let Arsenal down a bit when they've built up play and they've just in that final third or that final threaded pass not been able to pull it off.
Well, it's Maritz this time looking to get the better from the cross. Good block in the end from Lisa Dawn. When Arsenal do get it right, though, it's very difficult to stop, especially with that one-touch fast passing. Little freshly up from doing up her laces. I'm sure she really wanted to receive the pass there. Managed to keep hold of possession though. Here's Raffaelli.
They're doing such a good job, Ajax, of preventing crosses coming into the box. You're looking at that penalty area and it looks a little bit isolated. There aren't many red shirts in there, and I think you have to credit the visitors in the way that they are doing their defensive work further up the pitch. And for Arsenal, it is just a case of trying to get the ball in dangerous areas as it's opening up now for Little.
Yeah, might break now for Arsenal's captain. Plenty of space as she gets inside the box. Can she pick a pass? I was wondering then if she sped things up, could she have perhaps carved out an opportunity for herself? She knows she could have done better. But Arsenal do have a corner with a little over 7 minutes left in this first half. This does present a really good opportunity to turn this tie on its head.
I think Arsenal have looked so dangerous from corners, from set-piece routines. This is a great opportunity as we kind of approach the half-time break to just, again, see what pressure can be applied to the visitors' back line.
Steph Catley's trusty left foot to deliver this time. Again, it's towards the far post. Miedemar was lying in wait. For Raffaelli, good turn from her. Van der Most blocks the cross, and then an excellent piece of skill from her.
Lovely footwork by both players there.
Not your usual exchange between two defenders, that's for sure. Here's Leovalti. Hurtig.
I feel like there's a ball on that left-hand side. It's just screaming to be made, but it's just not opening up for Arsenal at the moment. Yet when Ajax attack, it just seems like the space opens up for them.
Well, Palova finds Weirden, this time trying her luck on the right-hand side of the pitch. The ball into the middle, easily claimed by Manu Zinsberger to a very warm round of applause. She's a player who has improved year upon year with Arsenal since joining from Bayern Munich back in 2019. Of course, she won the WSL's Golden Glove Award last season. 13 clean sheets she kept. 25 appearances in all competitions, 18 clean sheets in all competitions. Very, very impressive from Austria's #1, who again had a standout European campaign over the summer as well.
I think sometimes, Max, what goes a little bit unsaid about her as well is the attacking threat that she offers. A really smart goalkeeper whose distribution is equally as impressive as well. And perhaps as this tie goes on, her range and her ability to perhaps support Arsenal in attack will be even more important.
Oh, a bit more direct that time from Arsenal. Beth Mead was looking to get in behind, making that run from the byline into the middle. Cleared under some pressure, but for a second it looked like the Ajax rearguard for the very first time in open play were in trouble. Managed to recover though, the Dutch side. Maritz for Williamson. Just under 5 minutes to play of normal time at the end of this first half. Nothing to separate these two European giants. Raffaelli. Very impressed with how well drilled this Ajax side are.
Yeah, their shape behind the ball has been really, really impressive. And you're seeing the likes of Miedemar, Mead floating all around the pitch, trying to get a few touches.
Well, here's Miedemar inside the area. Slightly off balance, couldn't pull it down into her stride. It was a good first touch to pluck it from the sky when she tried to shift it onto her left. Couldn't generate the necessary power.
She's made a half chance look like a decent chance there, which is like a player of her world-class standards will do for Miedemar. And again, her movement, her kind of stalking off the ball as well. You can see she's well up for this Champions League tie, and perhaps to kind of go back to that goal scoring form in the 2019-20 season. I think for Arsenal as well, when you look at their campaign and what's to come this season, to get some silverware and to do well in this competition will really reinforce. And they're still the only English club to have won the Champions League, and I'm sure their ambitions will be lofty to go and further how they got on last season.
Good defending by Arsenal there. Palova was looking to carve out an opportunity for her teammates. Arsenal had enough back in defence, as did Ajax. And Little tried springing the counter-attack then. Stalking, by the way, is an excellent verb to describe how Vivianne Miedema pursues the defenders in possession of the ball. Here's Dawn. Space opens up for Palova. Switching it to the right-hand side for Weirden. Weirden's pass a bit loose. Thump clear by Steph Catley. Plenty for Jonas Eidevall to ponder at half-time. Wonder at which minute he will look to change things up. It's been a very physical game so far, very demanding of his players. An opportunity might come now for Ajax. Raffaelli's back there, Leutzer too. Good stop by Manu Zinsberger, right behind that effort. Danger still not cleared yet. Flicked on by Leutzer. Thankfully out of play. And here's that chance, Charlotte. Another good bit of goalkeeping from Manu Zinsberger.
Yep, stepping up in the big moments. Saw that all the way, covering her inside post as well. I'll repeat the point, it just has felt for opportune moments for Arsenal, the defence has just switched off, or the second balls are falling kindly to Ajax, but you've got to credit Ajax for that, being in the right place at the right time, anticipating that danger, and it's opened up those opportunities which normally Arsenal don't give too many opposition.
Here's Williamson trying to make things happen at the other end of the pitch. A loose pass. Before she is brought down. Leah Velti was going to get us back underway quickly. Coincidentally is making her 100th appearance in an Arsenal shirt. Leah Velti, that is, not Williamson. Known by many fans and all the players as well as Snake Hips for her ability to duck and dive out of challenges. Well, that's the end of what has been a frantic half of football at Meadow Park. End to end doesn't begin to describe it. Chances at both ends and a goal at both ends as well. First, it was Ajax who did break the deadlock, and it was their key danger player, Leutzer, inside the opening 20 minutes. But then Blackstenius drew us level to set up what is going to be a thrilling second half in Hertfordshire. We're going to be back for all of the key moments in the second half, full live commentary of the second 45 minutes. But for now, let's take a look at the highlights from that first 45. First real opportunity this, Charlotte, for Ajax.
Yeah, Ajax, after a slightly slow start, the visitors really began to impose their own authority, and the tenacious manner in which they pressed the ball did put the Arsenal defence under pressure, and we sort of noticed quite quickly, as soon as they got any glimpse or sight on goal, they were taking the chance to shoot towards it.
And then Blackstenius tried to get in round the side. She was lively in that first half, but this is Sharida Spitzer's effort. Again, you alluded to it in that first half. As soon as you see the goal, why not give it a go? And then this is the moment that mattered from an Ajax point of view.
A really disappointing